Hello, and welcome to Idle Insights, a show where each week I, Treavor Bettis, talk to interesting people about idle champions and Dungeons and Dragons. With me this week is the amazing Alicia Marie. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Good. How are you? I like the lyrical part
I'm
there.
good. I'm good.
If there's folks in chat who somehow don't know who are you for those fine folks who may not know?
Hey everybody, I'm Alicia Marie, and I'm on socials at Alicia Marie Body, and I'm a professional costume artist and just artist, creative person, all around creative person. I guess the mode of artistic sort of ability I like is pretty much costuming and sculpting. So that's what most people know me from and for. And then also, of course, D&D, because like you, like Trevor, like everybody else, I absolutely love role-playing games. So that's how I found my way onto this show.
They're pretty cool. They're pretty cool. I think they're gonna stick around for a bit.
Kind of fun.
Yeah, I actually I followed you on Twitter a while ago because of cosplay and some of the amazing cosplays you had done, and then I was like, oh, she also plays D&D. That's awesome. Yeah. And yeah, if Lisa's Twitter account is right there below her window, I highly recommend going and checking out the cosplays while we're talking here because they are fantastic. And we're gonna talk a little bit about those.
Thank you.
But I like to break the ice for somebody first time on the show, at least with me, which is the question: how did you get into D&D?
Oh my gosh, that's like the best question, actually. Okay, so one thing some people don't know about me, which is really crazy, is that I'm actually deaf. I'm legally deaf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm legally deaf, and I'm bumping into my camera, my microphone. But I had cochlear implant surgery during the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's very, it's very new, it's scary surgery to some people because it is your head.
Yeah.
But so for years, I would watch D&D and watch people play. And I think I used to watch a lot of stuff that a lot of the people that you guys follow and watch them play all the time. But I really just held myself back because I didn't really think I could participate.
Okay.
So I would say to myself, it's a whole thing with people who have hearing disabilities. You want to be a part of things, but you also don't want the anxiety of not being able to follow. So I would just watch D&D and I'd say, oh, that would be kind of fun to play. So I really did hold myself back. I mean, people would always talk to me and say, we will help you come play.
Yeah.
But I was always like, yeah, sure, one day. But I never felt comfortable.
Yeah.
But I did get cochlear implant surgery on one ear. And do you guys know TJ Storm?
That name rings a bell.
Yeah, he does a lot of DMing and he's a motion capture, a performer, a big level. He's Predator and Godzilla.
Wow.
Yeah. And he said to me, he's like, all right, now you have no excuse. I was like, no, I'm not going to play. And he said to me, he goes, I have a charity game coming up, and it was January of 2020. And he's like, I have a charity, and you're playing it. And I was like, no, I don't know what I'm doing. Everyone's going to laugh at me. And you understand, I played a barbarian, my very first of many barbarians. Yeah. I had green makeup all over my face and my clothes, but I had so much fun. And everybody was so good with me because I didn't understand, I was still getting through the rules system,
Yeah.
I just never looked back. Like I hit the ground running. And then think about it. I started playing January 2020, but I started really sort of looking into things at 2019 and the pandemic hit. And all I did for like 2-3 years was play D&D.
Oh,
oh my goodness. I was like, I want to be in your game. Bring me in.
That's fantastic. No, I really love that. So yeah, you caught up on lost time.
Yeah. I was like, I want to be in your game. Charity game, I'm there.
So the first character you made was an orc barbarian?
Half orc barbarian.
That's awesome.
Scar.
Scar, nice.
And he even tried to rock the accent. And it didn't work. It just didn't work. It was there for the first sort of introduction. Yeah. And then it was gone.
I have a similar thing with accents where I'm like, I can do it a little bit. I can give you an idea. It's not going to be there the whole time.
Nope. It was really good effort, A+ for effort, but I couldn't hold it. And I can hold what's really weird is I can actually hold the accent much longer now than I used to in the beginning. Especially the really sort of guttural ones, like that I reserve for my orcs.
Yeah. I think there was a character I had who had like an Irish accent, and about 30 minutes into the game, I sounded like Jack Sparrow, and I went, I don't know how I got there. I'm just gonna stop. I'm just gonna talk like this now.
Like, what are you supposed to be? I was like Latvian, I guess. I don't know. That's so funny. Yeah, there are certain accents I can carry. And everyone has their version of like British accents. I'm sure people from the UK watch us and go, what the hell is that? But we all love to have that, British accent, especially if we're playing a high elf. We love having an accent. Or if you're playing something that's like rodenty, you bring it sort of down south, sort of London accent. But other accents, I could not pull off for any more than, like, I know, do you know Dream Wisp, Jennifer?
Yeah.
She has I think an Irish, or is it Scottish? An Irish accent for one of her characters. I have no idea how she carries that out for the entire game. I would literally.
Oh, that's right. She does do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, she carries out the whole thing.
I listened to her and I was like, how are you getting English out of? I would sound ridiculous. So I like listening and watching people who can pick an accent and then carry it through the game. Although it's not required for those watching an accent at all. But I find it interesting. Keeps you like in character. So.
Oh yeah, there's a weird little goblin character that I have that I'll have a goblin voice for, and it's a little bit easier to keep up and doing, but it keeps me in that character headspace so much easier than if I was just talking as myself.
Right? Like, wait, can I hear it? Can I hear some of it?
I guess I should have brought it up if I wasn't prepared to do it. But
Garlock talks like this because he just kind of walks around and wants to be everybody's friend and hopefully not set everything on fire.
I love it. Oh my God, you're right. You know what? Before we did Children of Arte, which is the show that I played with Laura Nobo and Jennifer Kretschmer on Demi Playing Channel. We had like a little meeting. We were talking about like what accent or what sort of inflection we were going to use for our voices to stay in character. And it's from them that I learned how, even if you don't use like a real accent, just using like a sort of a voice differentiation can help you stay in it, especially when you're role playing, or there's big scenes where you're role playing for a little bit of time. It helps to have some sort of. For me, I actually picked for that particular character. I picked a person that I'm channeling my sister. I'm channeling my sister who has a way different. Like my person is like, oh yeah, sure. My sister's personality is very direct and more like, I don't think so. Like that's who she is.
I love it. Speaking of interesting characters and whatnot, you made an interesting character with Cianita to help out the BIPOC Support Foundation, who hopefully some of you stuck around before the show to check out the interview I did with two of the folks from there. Absolutely fantastic group of people. But tell me about Misty the Will-O Wisp.
Oh gosh, okay, so I'm just start off. I'm Alicia Marie. I'm a massive dog lover. I have a dog that's a massive. I'm talking. She's 3 pounds and she's like a big puffball. Oh. When we were first talking, she's like, if she walks in here, I'll pick her up, but she's somewhere else sleeping. But she's like a round like furball, and she's 3 pounds, so she looks like a ball with ears. I wanted to bring like a dog into the game as a familiar, but we have Scotty, the rescue pup, and I was like, we already covered on that. We have a Lulu in game as well. That's her name. We have Lulu in game. So I was like, I'm going to have to be creative. So before the meeting, I was like, there is no puffball in this game.
Took us 1 point down on the review. No puffball.
Like there's a 3-headed dragon. there's a dog, there's a 3, whatever. I'm like, but there's no. So before the meeting, I was like, oh, I have an idea. So we get in the meeting, and I was like, this is my first run idea.
Oh.
And they were like, I remember they're quiet for a second, like, what? It's like, well, I mean, and then I want to give my dog's personality. She's really, really cute. She's absolutely adorable. Everyone's like, oh, she's so cute, but she bites. She just bites. She doesn't want anyone touch her. So I'm come to me, and she's like that. And she's like, so I was like, that's Misty's personality. She means well. She's really cute, but she is very loyal and very protective. So she will snip at people or things that come near you. I know that especially with a charity familiar, we wanted it to sort of be related to the charity that we were going to be connected to. And for me, it's the BIPOC Foundation. And so I wanted to give her a name of someone that I absolutely adore. So she's, Misty is named after Misty Copeland, the first African-American prima ballerina with the American Ballet Theater.
Oh, that's fantastic. I didn't know that part.
Yeah. So she's like a modern icon. And she's the very first African-American ballerina.
That's so cool.
So she's one of my, as a former dancer, she's definitely one of my favorite historical figure.
Yeah.
So, and everyone at Idol Champions loved the idea. And but the idea of making the puffball into a will-o-wisp was not like my idea. My idea was the puffball, but I remember when I brought up the idea of a puffball, I remember one of the producers saying, "But will-o-wisps." I was like, oh, and it was like all of us went, oh, at the same time.
I love it. Yeah, the puffball is will-o-wisp energy, and the Biton's a little zap, and I love that. That's a great melding of ideas.
Yeah. So I mean, I was like all for it. It's the artwork. We started talking about the artwork and like going back and forth and what she would look like. And after back and forth a few times, we came up with this one. So it's like
Yeah.
She's like if you took this, which is where I started.
And did you make that, or did you just have that around as reference?
Oh, no, I made this one.
You made that? That's so cool.
That was for the first meeting, whatever. But I did make her. Now, disclaimer. Most of you know me as an artist. I make things. I love looking at artwork, the things that illustrators draw. And I immediately, the first thing I want to do is put it on me. Costumes, I'm like, I want to wear it. But I think a lot of people are like me. Like, they're like, I want that on my body. So I say to myself, how can I? And so over time, I've had to figure out how to, most costumes they don't exist in nature. So I had to figure out how to make them. So everything in my life has been like this massive learning curve. However, making an outfit is very different than making like an animated creature in reality. And sometimes in translation, things that look very cute can become frightening.
True. Gotta watch out for the danger.
Do you want to see what I mean?
I absolutely do. Yeah. You put out the teaser video before this interview. I'm very excited to see what you got.
I probably shouldn't have done that.
No. You get people hyped. Come on.
This is where we started. This is where we ended.
Oh my gosh. That is spectacular.
Now, one thing I do have to mention is that she does have teeth.
Oh, does she?
Teeth on her bones, so you can feel them. But she's a plushie. She is squishy, so she's completely squishy and plushy.
Oh, that's so cute.
He's really.
Did you paint those eyes?
Yeah, the eyes. So the eyes are hand painted.
Wow.
Now, I did base the eyes on what the artist did.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, I have a good baseline. Because at first I was like, what am I going to do with those eyes? And then I was like, oh, I'm a pretty good painter. So I could like reproduce it, whatever.
It seems like it. Those look fantastic.
I have an idea. And I was talking to one of the producers of this earlier. I think I'm going to make another one of these. I'm going to make another Misty and auction it off for charity.
Oh, I love that idea. That's fantastic.
People were like, no, please, we don't want one.
I guarantee you the Misty has already been a very popular topic of conversation in the chat since yesterday.
See, so I told them I'll make another one next month, and then I'll figure it out. I'll put it up somehow and auction it off for a charity for the proceeds to go to the BPOP Foundation.
So definitely be sure to follow her on Twitter to keep an eye out for that. I think that is so cool.
One thing I wanted to, so I know that, I don't know if you wanted to, so making something, I know how to make fursuit heads.
Okay.
So one of the, I don't make the bodies, I do want to make fursuit heads. So I did sort of take that into account when I was making her. Like I was like, oh, it's basically like a fursuit puffball head. She's weighted, like you said, the eyes are painted. I use follow me eyes for the whatevers. She's weighted, so she stays up sort of.
Oh, that's good.
The fur. Oh, these are when you pattern out a ball.
Oh.
You get 6 of these of any fabric, whether it's fur or fabric. You can use 4, you can use 6, you can use 9, you can use 12. The more you use, the more circular it's gonna be. Like if you use 4, it's gonna have the edges.
Yeah.
So I use 6. This was the exact pattern I used. Cut the fur fabric that I ordered, and then just my machine sewed right through them.
Wow.
And then stuffed it with polyfill. She's stuffed with this, so that's why she's squishy.
That's so cool.
And then added it, and then I cut holes in it, added the eyes, glue. But this is the fur that I used for.
Oh wow.
So one thing to notice, if you look at the difference between the fur.
Yeah.
What I did was I treated the fur.
Yep.
By using dry shampoo.
Oh.
Dry shampoo, and then doing this to it, and then a little bit of a heat gun, and then I got my fingers and did like this. I was watching TV, doing this all over it to give her more of like a fuzzy, like I wanted like a little bit fro.
That's so fascinating. My wife and I really we used to watch these shows that were on Sci-Fi Channel. One of them was like making weird puppets, and one of them was doing like special effects makeup and stuff like that. So like I like fell in love with the process of this. I'm like, I don't have the ability to do this, but I love hearing people talk about this stuff. This is so when you're like it doesn't look the same. I'm like, oh, I know this one.
It's always like a learning curve in general, like making anything for me, and that's why I get out of it. But this one was fun because I was very aware that especially when you're making something with eyes, that it can be very frightening.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I mean, we'll figure it out. But it's funny because I left her on my table and my husband comes in and he was like, what is on the kitchen table? I was like, it's a long story.
It's a long story
about it. He was like, I woke up to it because he woke up to it. I was up all night, like just doing stuff, and he woke up to like, what is? But I have a lot of this fabric left because I love how it's like white, but then it has like the bright.
Yeah.
Yellow. So I'm gonna make another one.
It was perfect for Misty. I mean, like literally looks how she does. That's wild.
If she was in real life, maybe, I guess so. I'll be putting information on that up, but I'll be able to make it next month when I have more time.
That's awesome. It's funny that you were saying about that you make the fursuit hats, because when I originally saw the picture of this earlier, that I thought it was that. I thought it was like a what's the guy that has the mouse head? Dead mouse? Yes. Is that it? I don't remember things. Like I thought it was like this because I didn't have any scale or anything, so I thought you made this like giant Misty thing. I love that it's a little plushie. That's so good.
I actually thought about making her massive And then I sat down. I sat down in front of the screen and I had the original size and I was like, oh, it's not going to work because it's going to be like, here she is, everyone. And then I also thought about like, you know, like, because I brought it outside to like take pictures and like my neighbor's kids are there. They'd be like, ah!
They just see this head bobbing along over the fence.
Because, you know, I was like, let me just make her stuffed animal size and then I'll scale her up later, like, and be like, there it is, or whatever, make different ones or whatever. So, but yeah, I try to just apply the first like sort of idea to this thing. I love doing artwork stuff. I do a lot of artwork for companies. And one of the things that, I mean, even though I love doing it, one of the things that is difficult is everything I do is so NDA'd always.
I get that.
It's like, and you like, you know, we live in a share and overshare,
yeah,
you know, type of society now. So
yeah.
the fact that like that this is why you'll be on Twitter and you see all the tweets where people are like, I'm working on something amazing. Can't say what it is, but it's amazing.
Yup.
So with stuff like 90% of the stuff I do, either I never get to share it at all, or I can share it when I'm done with restrictions. But that's why it was so fun for this. I can share.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I really love that we got to sit down here and talk about not just Misty, but the amazing plushie you made of Misty, because that's fantastic.
I was so what is happening?
We're just having a good time.
The artist did a really good job.
Oh,
bringing her.
Yeah, the key art, and Lauren, I can't remember if Lauren, if you know which of the artists did that one, if you put it in our chat, I definitely want to credit them, because yeah, the key art is absolutely incredible.
Who did the key? Who did it? I want to. I mean,
I'm gonna see if we can find out, because yeah, we absolutely need to credit the artist for that, because I mean, it's just so dang adorable.
They did such. You're right. Everybody can relate to where. But it's so funny. So just to like throw this in, my dog on her carrier, I had a sign made. I like getting things embroidered. My friends who know me have gotten embroidered gifts from me. I like getting things embroidered. And I have an embroidered patch on her thing that just says, I bite. And then underneath in small letters, do not pet. People still come up to me.
Oh, no.
And they're like, does she really bite though? And I'm like, why would I make this? That's out of my way.
Well, why would you go out of your way to print a lie?
But she's so cute. I'm like, those two are not like you. Those are not mutually exclusive. She can be really cute and still be pissed 24/7.
She can still be really cute and not like people.
She's 80. She's 80 years old in dog years.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
She's 15. She
has every right to hate people.
She's done.
She's done.
She's done. She's like this. You think I'm cute? I don't give a bleep if you think I'm cute.
I do want to mention, because we did find out, and V put it there in chat. Thank you, V. Okay. Jesse did the key art for Misty. Absolutely incredible. You can find his stuff on see Jesse Art on Twitter.
Write that down.
I can message it to you as well, because yeah, Jesse is a fantastic artist, and I'm so glad that they were able to do this, because it's just so dang cute.
Such a good job. Jesse really did. Like, I mean, all of the familiars that I've seen them draw recently, I've just been like, man, I want to make all of them. Don't tempt me. Can you imagine?
that would be quite a bit of work. That'd be quite a bit of work.
I could do it though. We'll talk.
Let's have an army of familiar plushies.
Oh my goodness. Ooh. Okay, we'll leave that alone before I end up destroying my setup and tearing things up.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that has the problem of like, oh, that sounds like a really good project that I want to push everything aside for to do.
Literally, I'm like, oh, I don't have like 5 costumes behind me for clients that I'm working on or anything. None of that, but plushies.
I have the same way with writing projects. It's like, oh no, I'm not working on 3 books, a webcomic, and anything else. Like, we could do something. Yeah, let's do this. Yeah. Oh boy.
It's like the struggle of being a creative. It's wonderful, but we have to like reel it in.
Oh yeah. Oh boy. But yeah, I did want to mention here that you can get Misty right now in game. And for the first week, the proceeds of the net proceeds of the I think I'm saying that right. Money from that purchase is going to be given to a really awesome organization called the BIPOC Support Foundation. I think we're going to have you can at least catch the VOD if you missed the earlier interview with 2 of the people from the BIPOC Support Foundation, and so you can catch that and find out what they do, because they are fantastic people. They're situated in San Diego and help out kids that want to learn. That's my favorite thing about this. Is it's like, you kids want to learn, we're going to help you learn, and we're going to do it in an awesome, fun way. Net proceeds is correct. That was put in the chat. I remembered things. I knew things. Yeah. But yeah, absolutely. If you have the ability to, please go pick up Misty and help out that awesome cause. And I mean, you get an adorable fluff ball of danger in your game. Come on now.
I know. She's like your best friend, and then the way that she animates.
Oh, I know. Oh my! I wasn't ready. I don't know why. I always forget, because I'll see the artwork for a familiar. I'm like, that's adorable, and I don't think about the fact that it moves. And then I see it in the game, and I'm like, oh, my heart.
And you start like
you do exactly that.
We are so like cute for us. I mean, when you think about Grogu and how like that like captivated a society.
Oh my god, yeah.
We like cute. We like the we like cute.
like to the point when someone's just like, I like that baby Yoda. I'm like, I don't know if I like you.
What is wrong with you?
Right? Come on now. With that little adorable little metal ball you took off the thing. Come on now. It's so cute.
Because we are just obsessed with cute. I saw a picture this morning that made me happy. Some guy posted a picture of his puppy. I think it's like a 2-week-old beagle.
Oh.
And the beagle was asleep at his foot, so his head was on his foot like asleep, and people were like, oh, I'm so sorry, you're not going to be moving ever again.
Yeah, no, that is where you live now.
Yeah, that's it. And we're all like, yeah.
My wife and I do that with our cat, where it's just like, one of us needs to do something. It's like, well, she's laying on me, like,
right?
I mean, I'm not going to be the one that gets up.
No, she's sleeping. What are you talking about? You woke up the cat. What is wrong with you?
And my cat she's not against giving people sassy eyes when you wake her up.
Really?
She will let you know with a look, just
give you a look like, I'm not waking you, peasant.
Peasant.
I do. Cats are all, like, I'm a dog person, but I do love cats too, because I used to have, and this is a true story.
Mm-hmm.
I had 2 Sphinx cats. The hairless ones. I know, right? I love fuzzy things, but I did have 2 hairless cats because I'm allergic.
Oh, well, then that's the best cat for you right there.
Yeah, but it's weird because Sphinx cats do have dander.
Yeah.
Even though they have skin, but there's just something that's a little less. I think it's the fur. The fur must carry it or something. I don't know. But I had 2 Sphinx cats, and one of the cats was actually a model.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so Tristan was on Saturday Night Live.
What?
He was on, he played, there was Tracy Morgan had a show called Animal Planet, something. And my cat played Sheba, the hairless cat, and they made a puppet of her and put like a toupee on his head because he had no hair.
Oh my, I vaguely remember this. That is wild.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So at one point I used to joke that my cat was like had way more better gigs than I had because he had like a handler at Saturday Night Live and everything. And
Oh my
He was in
gosh.
GQ, he was in Vogue, he was
That is so cool.
I'm like this. Oh really? My cat's going to shoot for Vogue today. What are you doing,
Sorry,
Alicia?
I can't do that today. My cat's gonna be is going to a Vogue photo shoot. Yeah,
Like,
I love that.
What are you doing? I was like, I'm gonna post a pic of myself on Twitter.
Well, before we change topics real quick, we are going to be doing a giveaway here in chat shortly for people who are live with us. Our awesome mod Sean is going to put a thing into the chat with a keyword. Just put that in, and you will be entered for a chance to win 42 chests of your choice, excluding Bahamut chests. And there it is. What's the keyword? It's Misty. Misty's the keyword.
It's a misty day.
So
awesome.
so yeah, put that in there, and you'll be entered for a chance to win some chests. But I want to talk to you more about cosplay. So when did you start doing that?
Okay, so cosplay and me have a very long storied history. I'm just
okay.
So when I was very little, I used to, like, little being like 5 years old, I used to make things and draw things, and I used to win like artistic contests.
Okay.
Right? But being an artist was one of those things that back in my day, if you told your parents you're being an artist, your parents are like, really? You can draw, you can get a job and you can draw pictures or whatever on your free time. You know, that's the mentality behind. I mean, if I ever had a child, which is never going to happen, but if I had one and if the child wanted to be an artist, I would take it and try to say, but these are so many ways you can be an artist today. It isn't just the starving artist in the basement drawing pictures. So there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
That's the mentality people have. Like, artistic people are in many different modalities and make a living these days if you do it right. It's just, they just require the right, like, sort of push, and then finding exactly where you want to put what you do. But anyway, I remember, so I used to make costumes for myself when I was a kid, like for costume contests, and I'd win like prizes like $5 or a candy bar or whatever. And I thought it was like, I thought it was amazing. I didn't take it seriously until 2010, and I got invited to San Diego Comic-Con by a friend.
Hey,
and I'm from the East Coast, so to me, California is like another planet.
Sorry, I'm in Southern California. I get that.
Like, even when I go to visit my family in Connecticut, they're like, "You're from Los Angeles." That's what people say. It's so funny. They look at me like in Dunkin' Donuts, like, really? It's literally.
I went to Jacksonville, Florida when I was like 18, and I told them I was from Southern California, and they were like, "Oh, okay, Hollywood." I got called Hollywood for like the entire trip just by random people.
They're just sort of calling you so Hollywood.
And I'm like, I'm not even from Los Angeles.
I live in Temecula.
I live in Temecula. Oh boy.
But yeah, like I didn't realize I had forgotten how California like sort of appeared. But anyway, I got invited to San Diego Comic-Con. It was a really big deal for me, and I was like, well, if I'm gonna go, I'm gonna dress up as the character that I always had in my locker in high school.
Oh, who was that?
Which was Storm.
Yes.
Storm was in my locker. X-Men stuff was in my locker. So I was like,
That's
I talked to a friend of mine who did a lot of cosplays, and he was like, I'll help you make it. And I was like, out of what? How do you make things?
Yeah.
And I was like, so I remember when we made my costume, I remember thinking it was watching magic happen. I didn't get any of it. I didn't understand what he was doing. I was like, boot covers, a cape.
Yeah.
I had no idea how it was done, but put the costume on, went to San Diego Comic-Con, and I remember being really nervous and afraid everyone's gonna like laugh at me. I mean, we're all insecure, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I walked out of my hotel room in my costume, like, and even going down the escalator, people were so, like, they were like, "Oh, it's Storm!" And I remember I was like, oh. Look. But the whole day, like just the response, like from other X-Men fans, which was great because being an X-Men fan and seeing other X-Men fans being very sort of supportive of what you have on and whatever you're doing was amazing, and that's where it started. So now, but now with the difference between when I walk out as Storm now compared to then is like 90. Like now I walk in my hotel room like this.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love it. Well, what's what I was actually at Comic-Con in 2010, and so now I'm just like, did I see a Storm back then? Like, that would have been absolutely wild. We crossed paths.
It was like, and since then I've done like about 6 different versions of Storm. Mm-hmm. The only version of Storm that I don't do like super accurately is the 90s Mohawk Storm, because guess what? Not shaving my head. Okay,
that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've done I've done the Storm wedding. I've done the cover that should have been T'Challa. I've done many different versions of Storm.
That's so cool. Storm has always been one of my favorite X-Men ever since the 90s animated show. I absolutely, and the costumes for it, like the cosplay for it, and I gotta go look this up because I definitely want to see your takes on it. It's so cool just having the cape. Like, I don't know what it is. I just want to like run around with it.
Which is what you can do. Look, I don't understand how people don't like conventions. I was like, it's the one place where you can put on like a full outfit and not be Hollywood Boulevard and literally run around like this, and no one's going to say anything because everyone else is doing it too.
Yeah.
Face down in the ground, pretending they're a character, like, oh, I know who he's trying to be. Meanwhile, it's just someone passed down the ground. Like,
well, that's the other thing that's wild about, like you were saying, there's like you weren't expecting people to like recognize you or anything like that. Like my wife, one year for Comic-Con, she loves the Anita Blake books, and so she made an outfit that she felt was similar to it, and someone was like, are you Anita Blake? And she's like, how the heck did you get that?
Right? It's like fandoms. It's like we all need the things that made it's literally a celebration of the things that make you happy. I rebuke, and I dislike the idea of when just because you're an adult you can't enjoy silly things anymore. Like what? When I first started cosplaying, people were like, oh my God, grow up. Like Halloween was like 9 months ago. Now those same people are like, can you like help me figure out a costume? Literally the same people have texted me or messaged me. Like when cosplay started blowing up to say, can you help me put together a costume for whatever? And I'm sitting there going, yeah. So cosplay definitely blew up because I think everyone's looking for just some fun, escapism that's harmless.
Mm-hmm.
And it's for me, it's about the cosplay one and being around, like having like my little vacation where I get to be around other fans of genres that I follow and love. But then the secondarily, of course, is the artistic stuff where I get to flex my abilities. But don't get me wrong, the minute I have my costume on, 10 minutes later, I'm like, take it off.
I can believe that.
I want it off. I love it, but I don't want to wear it all. But I like putting it on for shoots and then like most of the time, like most costumes, unless you're wearing a Spidey suit, are not like pajamas. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the pictures are worth it. It's fun.
I do have to ask, and I know this is 100% the pick your favorite child question, but do you have a favorite cosplay that you have done?
That's a horrific question.
I'm sorry.
They can hear you. They're like ridiculous. Here's the thing, and I always say this because people always expect me to say Storm. Storm is one of my favorites. But one thing I do like to bring up is the fact that Storm's personality is very intense. Mm-hmm. Aurora is Aurora.
When she is in a room, she is in charge.
That's Aurora. She's the Omega level mutant. She's Aurora Monroe.
Yep.
My personality is more Captain Marvel. Carol Danvers, my personality.
Yeah.
I'm not Harley Quinn, though people do think, I mean, I'm very lively, but I'm not like conniving and a little off. I'm not off like Harley, and Harley's off. So people who identify with that sort of personality, I'm like, are you okay? Do you know anything about this character? She's what? No. I like that when I'm in her cosplay, I can pose creatively. So it's fun to be fun characters. But Captain Marvel is like smiley, the flexing, I enjoy that. Whereas Storm is definitely more intense. Nobody wants Storm like this.
I mean, I would love to see that alternate world, because I think it would be an interesting one, but I get what you mean.
Storm is, when I pose as Storm, the white eyes. And like this. That's the one people want.
Yep.
You know what? You see what I mean?
Yeah, no, Storm as a Valley girl doesn't sound right.
And cosplay is costumed role play. So it isn't just putting on a costume, it's you're literally becoming the character for the day. So that's that's part of it. So getting to be Captain Marvel for me is a lot of fun because I love Carol Danvers, number one, and the personality just fits, the costume fits. I love Captain Marvel. But that's for superheroes. If we're moving into video games, it's way too hard.
Too many options.
Oh, I like artwork, Trevor. I love illustrations. I love seeing what people take a character and they take their pen and they make this amazing. All I do is I want to see it and I want to like make it. So I love artists. I love artists, and art inspires art, which inspires art, which inspires art. That's what art is. That's what everything is. So I am, video games are tough because the video game art is just miles and miles and miles of iterations. Same thing with D&D.
Oh yeah.
D&D. Have you ever been to Pinterest for D&D?
Oh God. Actually, we found out live on a podcast that I do with B. Dave Walters that he has like a couple thousand followers on Pinterest because of the D&D Pinterest boards he's made. He's like, I didn't even know.
What?
Yeah,
that's hysterical. I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be. B. Dave has a ton of art up with character. He's like me. Like I live for character art. I like seeing what people thought of. I'm like, wow, they gave that grave domain cleric a different sort of look, but that's fine. I want to wear it. I want that weapon. Like that's how for me cosplay really came to be. Like I started cosplay, but then the reason why I started making, which is different, is because I would have an idea for a costume. And I realized that people can't read your mind. Did you know that, Trevor?
Man, sometimes I really wish they could, because that would just be great if everybody could just get on board real fast.
Like, hello? How do you not know what I'm talking about? That's not what I envisioned. Like, hello. So I would get to the point where I was unable to explain what I needed made or wanted to do. And the only way to get past this, do it your damn self. So I went to YouTube University.
I've been there many a time for different subjects.
I got a 4.0. And then I did end up taking classes at I went to Otis College.
Oh, cool.
Art and design. So I did go to art and design first because I wanted to, like we were talking about cameras earlier, level up.
Yep.
Go from glue to like sewing and then to heavy sewing and then heavy sew and heavy gluing and then you start using regents, and so now like that's where my cosplay has gone up. So now literally I can see something and I'm like, I know how to make that.
That's awesome. That's a cool level of skill to be at. That's really cool. Well, we got a couple of questions in chat while we were talking, and I want to get a couple of these in before we wrap things up, because we've got another show after this. But we're gonna start off with I think this is Playgoo Pals. I'm gonna go with that one. Question: are there resources D&D communities can utilize to be more accessible? I wish there were stronger ways to incentivize companies to pioneer more inclusion.
Oh yeah, you know what? One thing I did notice is that for as far as actual play goes, is most streams are using captioning now, even if the interface doesn't have it like organically.
Yeah.
Streams go out of their way to make sure, because like you were saying, like before the pandemic, really, it was very difficult to, if you have hearing or sight, or to be a part of things or participate. As far as at home games, that's up to you. It's about finding a group of people. Like the group of people that wanted to play with me, they were like, we will help you. It was me that was saying, no, I don't want anyone to help me. So I was doing a little bit to hold myself back. I will say that Jennifer Kretschmer has a disability resources booklet that she put together because she's an advocate for across the board. And I know her booklet has a lot of resources for both D&D and a lot of different RPGs and stuff like that. So, but yeah, where I started was first I had to get over myself and then just look for the help because it's there, but we do have to do a little bit more digging, but that's changing so much.
Yeah.
And in fact, Dungeons and Dragons, one of their kits that they released over Christmas.
Oh, that's right.
That just was everything. They had a DM screen that was textured for the blind. Different things for colors, people who have color differentiation problems. There was it was just nice to see that things are getting better. People are starting to note that there are a lot of people out there that want to be a part of things and want to participate, but they just don't see how they can do it. So it just takes someone to say, you know what, let me think, how can I make this work? So I know.
I actually want to point out Lauren in the chat. I know folks later on YouTube that doesn't help you, but Lauren put a link to Jen's post about the resources. So if you click on that, you'll be taken there. And folks later on YouTube, go check out Jen Kretschmer on Twitter. It is at DreamWisp. Is her handle. I want to make sure I thought that was it, but I don't like saying anything with 100% assurance.
I love her. She's really done a lot of work in that space, and for someone who is disabled, I appreciate it, because we tend to suffer in silence a little bit. So it's nice to have someone who's advocate who isn't afraid to stand up and say this isn't being recognized and it needs to be fixed, and then to have a company like D&D say, okay, what can we do? So
no, that was great to see that Jen, I know Jen got one and V Muse got one, but I was just saying, so you can go, anyone out there who wants to go check out their Twitter account a couple months back, it is a stunning set. Just like everything about it just screamed thought being put into it, and that was really the thing that I loved about it.
I'm gonna have to do a video. I'm gonna have to do like a real video.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
All the pieces.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I want to get one more question in here. This one is from the Lurking Writer. Question: do you have a cosplay you haven't worn in a while that you would like to go back to or tweak/improve?
You know what? Every time you do, so I was saying earlier, every time you do a costume, you learn something.
Yeah.
So the costume, I made a costume for the video game Wanted Dead. And when I compare the things that I did on that particular build to the ones I did right before it, I'm like, you know what, I could have done that. So the only way to really learn how to make costumes in general is to keep doing it all the time. Because if you compare the costume I made for Wanted Dead to the costume I made 10 years ago.
Oh, I bet.
It's not even, we learn. It's the ones we learn.
Mm-hmm.
And there isn't like a rule book for filmmaking. Like you can find a lot of patterns online. I know that Community Cosplay has patterns. Evil Ted has patterns online. There are a lot of tutorials and stuff, but you really, really have to do, because otherwise you're watching it going, but I don't know what they mean by bevel the foam. What is beveling foam?
Oh God.
Yeah. You see, and you're like, you bevel the foam and you heat it up and you press it with your thumb. It looks like leather. Oh my gosh.
It's like magic.
Tricks. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I have ADHD, so I totally forgot my train of thought.
No worries. I also have ADHD, and that is just how this show goes. I think the chat might be used to it by now.
All right, here we are.
I still think that was a good answer for it. So there we go. Alicia, thank you so much for taking the time and talking with me today. This is an absolute blast.
Thank you for talking with me. I'm having so much fun with Misty, and you guys have to let me know if you have her and if you have her in game. Yeah, this is so cute. And I will follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I'm at Alicia Marie Body below. And next month I will have a Misty to auction off for targeting.
That's so awesome. We'll be sure to get some retweets and everything out there from the Idle Champions account as well.
Oh,
yeah.
Perfect.
But yeah, thank you again for taking the time and for helping to make Misty be reality, because she is absolutely special and wouldn't be as special without you. So thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day, everyone, and I'll see you in the Nexus. I don't know what that means, but I thought it sounded good. So
I like it. See, I like Demon Souls. That just made me think of that. But yeah, you could pick up Misty right now in game. The net proceeds for the first week go to the BIPOC Support Foundation, which is an amazing organization. Again, if you didn't see the interview earlier, it's either on a VOD on Twitch or we might have it up on YouTube later. Not sure, but we'll see what happens. But that is going to do it for this week's episode of Idle Insight. So until next week, take care of yourself.